Welcome everyone to another episode of our build series. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and also don't forget to tap that bell. That way you guys can be informed on our latest and greatest episodes. So without further ado, let's get into it. In this episode, we will be building one of our custom small rounds. Not shown in the video is the pattern we use and how we cut out the rounds. But the first thing we do after we have all that is we'll throw the round on the router table. We do this so we can actually give some curvature to the rounds. Otherwise, it would just look like a flat circle round, and we like to give it a little more depth to the design. And we'll go around this a couple times. This helps get rid of all of the rough edges and everything like that. And then once we have that all done, the next thing we'll do is we'll take it over to the sander and we'll sand it down. We use 100 grit sandpaper like we do on all of our projects. We'll do the top, bottom, and we also do around all of the edges just to make sure everything's nice and smooth. And for the top and bottom side, so it'll allow stain to properly be applied. Before we do any staining, we'll go ahead and put on our quick pre-stain. We don't do this on every project, but in this one in particular we did. Once that's on, that actually has to sit for at least a half an hour. Then it's ready for stain to be applied. In this episode, we are using a navy stain. Same process as we use in everything. Put a stain down, we use a foam brush, and then we use a nice staining pad to remove all the excess stain. And then we let that dry. So for this custom round, we are actually building a baby, I don't know if you want to say announcement, but basically whenever you have a baby, you have something that displays its weight, the time it was born, those kind of statistics, and that's what we're building here. Now we like to make sure everything's centered up and allow for enough space to put all that data on there, but also space that if the customer wanted, they could put maybe a picture of the baby when it was born, an ultrasound picture, or anything like that in an open space. Here we're putting the lines down. This way they have straight lines to write down this data. We don't actually put the numbers on for them. We let them write those down. So we'll put the lines down to ensure that they have straight lines, and it actually looks very nice whenever it's completed. Now we cut those lines with the curvature just so it kind of like flows better. And we go over everything with our roller to make sure everything's nice and pressed in, and then we'll begin taking off all of the transfer tape. And then once the transfer tape's done, we'll go ahead and flip it over, and we will begin to put the hanging hook on. What we do is we'll kind of look back and forth from the front because we want to make sure that it is exactly centered on the back. That way, it's not tilted whenever it's hung. So we'll look at the front, we'll mark it, and then we'll take it to the back and mark it, and then put our hook on. And then, of course, we do our custom stamping with our Ivy and Wilco dies. Then after that, we do our clear coat. We use a water-based polyurethane for indoor projects. And then once we have that on, we are pretty much done. And as always, we want to thank you guys for the continued support. And if you'd like to purchase one of these products from us, you can do so at our website at ivyandwilco.com. Thank you, everyone.